Okay, this is part two of my story. So I left off at the first driveway that I did. Like I said, it's spalled and all that. I'm working, so I might not look directly in the camera, but you can, hear me hopefully. But and I'm gonna pause here, and I'm sorry, but yeah. So I did the first driveway. It spalled. Like I said, the man he ended up suing me, which is terrible, right? And so instead of backing up, regrouping, trying to figure out which direction I'm going and all that, like I said, I'm still in my mid to late 20s at the time. I figured the best way to solve this problem was to double down on this. I need to do more work, more driveways to recoup my losses and all that. So I got involved with a program in the county where you go into housing units and fix them up after people move out or before people move in, or if they are have extensive damage like fires of some sort or just vandalism. You know what I'm saying. So I got involved, and it was for small businesses, and it's supposed to help these small businesses grow. And it's a good program. It really is. Actually, it still exists to this day. I think, and this is more 20 years ago. But nowadays, this is part of the story. So part of the story is that I got involved with this program. Like once again, I'm on a shoestring budget, but this time you don't really have to pay for the supplies. The county supplies the supplies with a voucher. You take them to this place and they give you everything you need: the cabinets, the tile, the fixtures and all that. But you got to supply like caulk and stuff like that, and your own tools, of course. So I get involved with this program, but the only thing about this program is you got to show certified payrolls. So I was kind of fudging those because you got to pay taxes on those certified payrolls. So I was kind of fudging those, doing those by hand. I wasn't using Excel, which was a bad idea, terrible idea. And since it's the county, you had to wait for your money. The money's taking like 40, 50 days at sometimes, So this stuff was hard. So I was doing this at night with some other, mostly a lot of painting and putting floors down. So I have another buddy, may he rest in peace. He passed recently. And we were doing this stuff at night, working up to like 1 in the morning and whatnot. Then we'll both go back to what we do all day to reconvene and do it some more, And this went on for a long time. So like I said, I'm using this to double down on these driveways and all that. So in the meantime, I'm kind of doing sidewalks here and there. But then I get my hands with another driveway, kind of a big job, but it was configured kind of weird. She had some problems with her water flow and all that, and heaving. And basically, I shouldn't have did the job. Let's put it that way. It was a little bit outside my realm of expertise at the time. I shouldn't have did the job, but I needed the money and I needed it bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to pay for. I was using money from the county stuff to pay for the driveways and the driveways and sidewalk stuff to pay for the county stuff. So it was just a bad cycle. It was a house of cards, a weak house of cards, son. But so it got to a point where I had this woman's driveway, and it was a pretty decent chunk of money, and I had these guys working for me, and at the time I didn't realize it, but I didn't have the original guys from the first driveway. They kind of morphed into like a whole new crew of different guys depending on schedules and times and all that. But there was this one main guy who was helping me get these other guys, okay? And one day I was working my day job, and I get a phone call at my job, and it says, I need you to come outside and come down the street because we want to talk to you. I'm like, who want to? And when this happened, we had already ripped up the driveway, this woman's driveway. We had already ripped it up. So there's nothing there. You know, we had already ripped it. We hadn't even prepped it yet. We had just ripped the damn thing up. So I said, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You're outside?" He's like, "Yeah, we're outside down the street from where you work." So I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'll come down there." So I walked down the street from where I work. It was kind of like in a hood area, you know. And him and his guys are standing there, like, you know, kind of, you know, like, it wasn't friendly. They were kind of like, kind of mean mugging me and whatnot. I effing me. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, "What's up? What's going on here?" And they're like, "Bro, we need you to give us our money now. We need our money now. We want our money now." I'm like, "For what? I can pay you." I'm like, "I didn't even get paid. I don't even have the money yet." You know, actually I did. I got a deposit, but I was using that money to help with the county stuff. You know, another stuff I had going on. You know, I was doing all kinds of stuff, but I was painting. I was doing all kinds of stuff. So I'm like, "Why? What's the problem here?" They just like, "Just give me the money. Just give us. If you don't give us the money, we're gonna not fix the. We're not gonna pour the driveway." I had a pour set up too. I mean, I had a truck coming. I had everything set up. I think I already paid for all this, so I was stuck. I couldn't cancel it because then I had to cancel the truck and lose my money on the concrete. They weren't gonna give it back. Yeah, I mean, maybe they were, but I was just stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won't back a whole thing. I couldn't reschedule that. And the thing about it, to leave this woman's driveway like that for another so many days. So I found some more people to do it. I didn't know nobody else. I didn't know what to do. So I'm standing there, and I did have some money in my account. And sure enough, you know, where we were standing was like a block from the bank that I bank at, that I was going to at the time. I was like, "And you gonna come put the driveway in?" Like, "Yeah." You know, I think what happened is it's a couple things going on here. All right, one, it was the 90s. Come to find out, these dudes were smoking dope. I mean, I didn't know. You like the typical dope smoker that I was used to seeing was a down and out fiend on the streets. These guys weren't down and out kind of fiends, but they were smoking dope. Come to find out later. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you how I found out. But then on top of that, it's jealousy. So it's all kind of lessons to be learned here. They thinking I'm making all this money, which I'm not. I was making a few $100 barely. Like on these sidewalks, I wasn't making shit. I was probably making $200. They were making more than me actually. But yeah, eventually I might have grew to make more. But I think, and the thing is, I think they were jealous of what they perceived I was making, which I wasn't making. So that's a lesson right there too. Is like when you're a business owner, you got to kind of separate yourself from your employees. And on top of that, another lesson here is when you're a business owner, you really shouldn't be doing some sort of business that you really can't afford to do unless you can do the shit yourself. And I couldn't do a whole driveway by myself, of course, you know, and I couldn't afford to really, I didn't have a payroll. I was shoestringing. So if I had the money to actually foot this bill for some guys to come pour a driveway, I wouldn't have been using these clowns. I'd have found a professional crew somewhere and just paid these guys and not have too much interaction with them. You know, like driving. Sometimes these crews, they work different contractors. You know, you drive down the street, see a bunch of guys doing a driveway. You just ask them like, "Yo, I got a driveway. How much you would charge me to pour it? I go look at it." You know, it might just be the crew or pull a guy to the side, or you can find some guys. You know, you find one guy, he'll bring the rest of the guys. You're not friends with these guys. It's a strictly money transaction. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of my screw up right there. I knew these guys. I knew the main guy kind of. You know, well, I knew him pretty well because we worked together at the other company. But actually, he had left that company. You know, and people have been warning me about him too, and I wasn't listening. I was greedy, ego, like, "Oh, I can deal with that." Like, "No, he a tricky character. You know, I can deal with that. He ain't gonna do nothing to me. He ain't do that to me. You know, we cool. He know better," which he didn't. So I went down to my bank. I literally had to empty my bank account out to give these dudes some money right there on that street corner in the hood, right? And I'm like, all right, so I'm now to the point like, are we on for whatever day we gonna pour this driveway? It was a weekday, so I wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? I think my dad was there or something, but he don't know concrete well enough to actually know the intricacies of what these guys are doing. Because there's something that happened with this driveway that really blew everything up, and I'll put that in part 3. Okay, thank you.